This is a DXRACER Air and it's a gaming chair, but instead of your usual leather or cloth, it has a mesh material. Now I really like mesh chairs because I live in Singapore, a very hot tropical climate, and if you're watching this, chances are you live in a hot tropical climate too from my demographics. And if you live in such hot tropical climates, chances are you want a mesh chair because mesh chairs are more breathable, have better airflow, and that means for long sweaty gaming or work from home sessions, you're not going to be as warm or hot or sweaty. Now the DXRACER Air is supposed to give those people who want a gaming chair's design and aesthetics. Now, I prefer a mesh chair for a multitude of reasons. One, of course, is temperature, but another thing is that mesh to me is a lot more comfortable. It supports my weight better and it conforms to my body shape a lot better, or so I feel, as compared to, say, Secret Lab leather chairs or whatnot. So I was very interested to check out the DXRACER Air. So do I like it? Let's start off with the good. Now, I do like the design of this chair. I think it looks really good. I think it captured the soul and the essence of a gaming chair really well, and it definitely has that gamer vibe, which I think some people do appreciate. And I think I do like about this chair is the neck support. Now, I prefer like integrated neck supports, but this neck pillow is definitely not bad. It's on this height adjustable rail, and the material of the neck pillow is really soft and very, very nice to touch and feel, which is awesome. It also has pretty decent lumbar support. I would prefer if the lumbar support's a bit deeper, but it's unfortunately quite shallow, but at least you can adjust the height of the lumbar support to fit where your back starts and then I guess. I also do like the mesh material. It's not the softest, smoothest mesh in the world, but it's definitely comfortable and supports my weight very, very well. This chair is also very big and very comfortable to sink into because of, you know, its sheer size, but that might actually be an issue for some people. If you're very small in terms of your build, it might be a little bit too big of a chair to support you properly. But for my wider shoulders and bigger stature in terms of my butt, it's actually very comfortable. Sure. I also do enjoy the fact that this chair has a reclining feature which allows you to recline back and lean back in your chair. So if you're planning to lean back and watch a movie on your computer, you can do that pretty comfortably. That pad with the neck pillow does give a very nice experience, and it also has all the adjustments you expect, so in terms of like height and the ability to rock back and forth, and also for your side armrest. Now I do like the side armrest. They've got a good material, they've got a good feel, and they can do all your basic adjustments, but you can't really adjust the width of them, which is kind of annoying if you are someone with narrower shoulders. For me it's fine, but if you're someone with narrower shoulders, then you're gonna find that these armrests are a bit too wide and you might be doing this, which is not that comfortable. While this chair is definitely quite comfortable, it does have quite a few annoying things. For one, the biggest thing for me is the build quality. The build quality is this chair is just, it's really quite appalling. For 470 Singapore dollars, you expect better materials than this, but the frame is just this cheap plastic with sharp edges. It's very, very unrefined and doesn't feel like you're spending $500 on a chair. Sure, for a gaming chair, it's considered cheap, but for anyone who is spending the actual money, for most people, $500 is not a small amount of money, and it's actually quite an expensive purchase. So you expect that the materials and the build quality to be much better than an IKEA chair. And in this case, I'm sorry DXRACER, it just straight up isn't. The build quality is really quite poor. The materials are this cheap, scratchy plastic that feel like I'm in a 2003 Toyota Tacoma. And you know, there is scratchiness and there's loose things that shake all around the chair, which is extremely undesirable. Now, if DXRACER coated the plastic frame, the majority of the cheap material that makes up the plastic frame, in some sort of soft touch finish, or maybe wrapped it in some sort of felt material, I would definitely not have given any bad negative points for build quality. But because I get to see and feel these scratchy plastics and they're in places where I'm always touching and accessing them, it does get on my nerves. And for someone who cares a lot about the quality of what I'm touching, it is kind of a big negative for me. Apart from that, another issue I have with this chair, although far from as big as the build quality, is definitely the adjustments. Extremely stiff rails. So all the lumbar support or the neck support that I talked about just now that is adjustable are on these rails that are very hard to adjust. So you kind of need to apply a lot of force to adjust the height of these supports, and you often apply too much force and over adjust, so it's very hard to have like fine proper adjustments. In conclusion then, what do I think about the DXRACER Air? Well, it's quite comfortable and definitely quite ergonomic, but it's not the best chair ever. Look, If you are someone who is really into material quality and really obsesses over the feel of the materials that you touch, like me, then it's going to be a deal breaker. But if you're someone who doesn't care as much and you're like, I don't care about the materials and how they feel in my hands, so long as the chair is comfortable, then the DXRACER Air is a good buy. So it really depends on what you care about the most and whether that will affect you. Overall though, I say this chair is definitely a decent buy and something that you might want to consider if you're looking for a gaming chair in your next setup upgrade.